friends, I'm Sheryl Uehling, tech coach for tutors, and I am a former teacher turned tech coach for tutors, but this might be an especially important video for teachers because so many of you are using Google Classroom. Now, one of the things that I offer for my Tech Hub for tutors is training in Google Classroom, but not everybody wants a membership, and some people just want to know a few tips and tricks. So today, I'm going to focus on how would you add an assignment to Google Classroom. So I will start here by sharing my screen. And I have a practice class open so that you can see the practice class. And inside my practice class, I don't have a lot going on right now. I have used this in other trainings. I kind of wiped out the other things. And I just right now literally only have a meet link where students could meet me at. And then I have a link to some spelling games. That's all I have in here. But these are not assignments. These are materials. So the goal of today is just to simply show you how you can create an assignment for a student. Now, the very first thing that you want to know is that the create button is your friend. Okay, so we're going to create an assignment. Now, what you can do, you can go directly into your drive and find something. You can add a link from YouTube. You can create something for them to do. You can upload something, or you can add a link. But the great part about adding assignments, oh, I just absolutely I loved this as a teacher, is you can assign them to different students, different classes. You can give points. You can give a due date. And the nice part about the due date is then they get a little message in their to-do box. They still have something to do. And then you can add by topic. I will not be covering all of this because this is just a quick tutorial. But let's say that I have a Google Doc that they need to fill out with some information. Now, the one disadvantage to using the create button is when you use the docs button here, you don't get a title on it, okay? You can go back and fix it so it has a title, but it's always going to remain untitled here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to docs.google.com. And I will share my screen as soon as I get that up. Okay, and let me share my screen with you. Coming over to this one. Okay, and you're going to see I have a bunch of other things here, but I'm just going to come up here to a blank document. Okay, and here is where I'm going to name this. Okay, so maybe it is response to reading that I'm going to put in here. And then maybe I'll have some directions like after reading chapter 2, record your thoughts on the main character, including a prediction about what will happen next in the story. That's not a great question, but it's fine. It's going to be fine for now because that's just what popped into my head. Okay, so I think that's 2 things and it's a little big, but we're going to leave it as that. All right, so now I have that there and I'm going to come back over to the classroom, okay? And I'm going to go into my drive at this point. Okay, and I'm going to grab that response to reading and now it has a name. Now, here's the cool part. Let me make sure that you guys can see that. Yep. Okay. Just making sure you guys can still see that. Sometimes I assume that you can see it and I miss it. So can the students view the file? Can the students edit the file? Or do you want to make a copy for each student? And this is where you're going to have to decide, is this a response for everybody to respond to? Or is this just you want the student to give you a response? And since I work with mainly tutors right now, but this is a tutorial for anyone, I would say that the student can edit the file because it's probably just one student at a time that you're creating a specific activity for. But in this case, we're going to make a copy for every student. So then when they get the copy, it's going to be titled that. And then if you want them to send it back to you, they can send it back to you and you're going to know who it belongs to because it's going to have their email address on it. So as long as you know who it is, that's great. Otherwise, maybe go in and say, add your name. You know, you can tweak that a little bit. Now, coming over here, you can go to your practice class, or you can go to any of the classes that you have. And so if you've got multiple classes, you can assign this to multiple classes. Hint, hint, teachers, this makes your job a lot easier when you're trying to do lessons for your students. Or you can just go into all students and then click a student's name. But we're just going to say all students, and then I'm not going to pick out one student. Now, I don't actually give points on anything, but you're certainly welcome to do that. I'm going to do ungraded, and then I'm going to say a due date, because maybe I want it next week, and maybe I want it by midnight. Okay, so then I'm going to click close submissions after the date, because I don't want this hanging around there forever. And the really cool part is you can give this a topic. Now, the 2 topics that I have right now are just my Meet Link with Sheryl and spelling game. So maybe I'm going to call this reading responses, or response to reading. Okay, now if I don't add that, I can always come back and add it. I'm also not going to do a rubric. This is not about making rubrics, but you can click to create a rubric, and then you can either assign it immediately, or you can schedule it. And for some reason, we are not getting the assign button. So, oh, because I didn't give it a title. Don't forget the title. Okay, response to reading. And then I could even add additional directions here. Again, after reading chapter 2, please add your response to the prompt. Okay, now, my students, if this was given to a 2nd grade student, they'd be like, what? What's that mean? I might just say, tell me what you thought about chapter 2. So again, think about who this is going to. And then when I push, I can either assign it, or again, I can schedule it for later, which is also a really nice feature if anybody needs that. If you haven't turned off your notifications in the stream, they're going to see this in the stream. So maybe scheduling it for your student might be better. I'm actually not going to schedule this. I am just simply going to assign it so that we can see it, and it will pop up here in a moment. So again, it's making a copy for all my students. So now you can see that it is listed at the top, and maybe I don't want it at the top. By giving it a topic name, my students can quickly see it. And then maybe I even want to drag it and have it at right below the Meet link, or put it in the order that I want them to complete things in. And so when they come in and they're under their classwork, again, it's not going to show up under stream, but because I've turned off notifications in the stream. Okay, you do that by coming up here. Okay, and then you can come down here, and I have hide notifications. I still have that students can post and comment, but you can also turn that off. So let's go back over here. So when you click here, this is what they're going to see. They're also going to have a little to-do button over here. Mine would be to review, but theirs is to do. And then they can view the instructions, and they can click that, and they are going to get their own copy. It now forced a copy of this. I'm still in it on another page. I'm the owner of it, so it didn't give me a copy. And then they can type on it. Then when they're ready to send it back to me, then they can simply share it with me by coming over here to the share button. And then they can send it back by either copying the link, or they can change who gets access to it. They can email it or whatever from this point. So that is the end of our quick tutorial today. I hope that this is helpful as you are setting up and preparing for your late summer tutoring sessions, or you're back to school already, or you are going back to school. You know, some of the teachers around the United States, this is being filmed on July 23rd. Some of you are just in the first couple of weeks of your vacation, but many Midwestern teachers have been off since early May, and they are weeks away from starting. So I really hope that this is helpful. If you know of any students that need extra help and they're seeking a tutor, you can send them my way. I will quickly pull up my website so that you can see it. Let's see, here it is. And I'm easy to find at tutoringwithsheryl.tutorbird.com. Let me share that page with you. And then you can learn more about me along the way, and get to know me, and know that I am, oops, let's go this way. Know that I am a seasoned professional. I really have taught in the classroom for many years. I use Google Classroom in my services with students so that they have a dedicated learning place to land. If you're a parent and you're watching this and you want some resources, I have a couple of free resources here for you, and you can also contact me. So I would like to again say thanks for joining me today. You guys make it a great day, and as usual, keep the learning going.